Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly.
So let's get to this interview with Kandi Burress and the House of Aaron. Now, is Kandi the matriarch of the show? As the longest running cast member and one of the more level-headed cast members, I would say yes. The queen of the show, I would say no. She's too boring for that. Kandi is a nucleus, but not a queen bee. So we get to Kandi talking about how she was over it at the sauna this year because the heifers was saying she's a bad friend to them. And she's like, no, y'all are a bad friend to me. You only call me when it's time to film and you only invite me to business events, Marlo. I mean, it's not like Sheree ever has any business events. Kandi upset that she didn't have her fashions together. That Sheree didn't have her fashions together. She's like, I've been trying to support. We had the fashion show back in March. It's September and she still ain't got the website right. And the few things she has weren't ripping the runway. She said she'd never do Big Brother again because she don't like being cut off from the world. You don't have a phone, you can't talk to nobody, and it discombobulates you. I could see it. I think we're all still discombobulated from quarantine. So he asked her, who do you like better for Sheree, Martell or Tyrone? She said, well, I gotta go with Martell because Tyrone is a bum. But so is Martell. He's just a more attractive bum. Kandi said it was Martell's team that told him to take the photos with Sheree. It's not a genuine connection. Well, we knew that. I feel like Sheree is too long in the tooth for Martell. And she doesn't like men. Not sexually. Kandi said, well, the photos had to be staged because we don't have random paparazzi at Sandy Springs Parks. But, you know, anything for Sheree to have a story. Now we playing a game, can you defend it? First question up, can you defend the vibrating panties in New York? And she's going, stand in it, literally. Kandi said, I thought it would have been a great way to keep the girls from arguing because whenever somebody started acting like a butt, you give them a little zap. I didn't think that the wires would cross and the husbands might not be buzzing their wives. Kandi can't defend the seating chart though. She's like, why was Sheree and Marlo center square? Because you're boring, dear. Because you're boring. They put Drew and Sanya next to each other to start mess so we would have something to watch. And hopefully we'd have another Portia versus Kenya moment. So Kandi was invited to Portia's wedding and she's actually trying to go. Girl, she only invited you because she knows you'd give a good gift. So now we get into the real tea with Carlos King. Why ain't y'all friends? Well, apparently, he snuck to TV1 and was doing an unauthorized biography about Escape and actually was asking Kandi's mama, Joyce, if she could give some information on raising a girl in a girl group under the guise that it was a different project. So you was really going to try to get Kandi's own mama to sell her out, which you would have done for a smooth 50. But damn, Carlos, you are, like Kandi said, the lowest of the low. They smile in your face when all the time they want to take your place. The backstabbers always want to be around you, but it's jealous as they come. Well, don't want you to win that race, 'cause if you do, it's gonna lessen their space. Giving all of us sissies a bad name. He just, in all those years he had been around me, he had never told me he was going to do a movie about us. And I just, to go behind my back, I can't do it. That is foul. Thick tongue, titty foul. Carlos has burned a lot of bridges in his day. Kandi says, however, it is a lie that Carlos told Phaedra that they were trying to drug Portia. She said the network investigated it and it wasn't him. I don't know. I think he has somebody plant a bug in Phaedra's ear. I don't trust that thick-tongued sissy, and neither do you. So Kandi says they still want to do the movie. It got greenlit, but then they ended up not doing it. But she don't want it to be all about her and her business. She wants them to put some of theirs in the street too. Well, that was the interview. It was interesting. Congratulations to House of Aaron and Carlos Queen. Shame on you, huzzy. Shame on you. And speaking of Carlos King, Crystal, Neyo's soon-to-be ex-wife, has come on Reality with the King to air his dirty laundry. Let's see what she has to say that's got him begging for a gag order. So we do all this big upping of Crystal in the interview, but we never mention Moneta. Didn't you steal that man from Mon? Didn't you? But that's right, we'll let you rewrite history. Crystal thinks she's misunderstood. No, you misunderstand that we understand what you is. And what you is a home wrecking harlot. Just because it's in the blogs, they assume it's true. No, there were interviews, there's been evidence. It wasn't just, ooh, a little rumor in the blog. We watched it unfold. We watched you two unite as he moved on from Moneta. He did Moneta so wrong, she went white. She just said, you know what, I can't even give me a honk honk. Can't even do it. He was not single. Moneta said he wasn't single. You just want to keep lying. Moneta said she ain't going to address it no more, but she said, no, we were still together trying to work things out when you came into the scene, and you knew they were together. Everyone knew. Unlike Tammy Roman and Kenny Anderson, Neyo was popping at this time. I guess his head is always popping. She doesn't care what anyone says about her because she grew up in the hood. Oh goodness, now she's talking about what she's accomplished. What have you accomplished? You're on a reality show because you slept your way into a good settlement. Do you produce? Do you sing? Do you act? I didn't know laying up was such an accomplishment. You can give your children a beautiful lifestyle with what money? I guess you had enough sense to make sure they had a rich daddy. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And you had 3? Cha-cha-ching. You put your time in. So, Crystal, you was on The Woman Behind the Man, produced by Carlos King, and we all heard him sing your praises while he was out here cheating and skeeting. Raw in other broads. Oh, she started off as a video model. And we know what kind of skill and talent that takes. What? Wait. Black Men's Magazine and Instagram were around at the same time? Oh, okay. I don't know. But okay. So Black Men's Magazine got in touch with her through Instagram, and that's how she got in the video model game. She doesn't sound intelligent. She really doesn't sound intelligent. She might be, but she sure doesn't articulate well. It's tough to listen to. I feel bad for the heifer. And also the story she's giving, she's like, oh, and then I started hosting and I was making 10 bands a week and then it was 10 bands a day. She doesn't sound like she's convinced that she did this, which makes it sound even more inauthentic to the listener. She's a social media icon. I never heard of the heifer. I would say Amber Rose, that was a social media icon. Where is she today? I don't know. But the story just isn't ringing true to me. So then she dibbles and dabbles in reality. First up is All About the Business with Eva Marcel. I ain't never heard of it. So she was apparently one of Eva Marcel's bridesmaids, and Carlos asked her about the drama that was going on around her wedding when they were accusing her of getting a car and an IEN number or what have you. Nobody really cared whether those rumors were true or not, and she said, well, I wasn't involved in that, but I just was supporting my friend. Carlos always trying to get a story where there ain't one. Her next show was Platinum Life on air. So Crystal was the queen bee of Platinum Life and flying the girls to Vegas on her private jet. Girl, please, that was Neyo's shared jet. So apparently she had to cuss a heifer out because she was acting like she was living a platinum life, but then once we started filming, she was begging for production to pay for everything. So Crystal generously offered her private jet so they could go to Vegas. And the heifer wanted to whine that there wasn't enough leg room. She said, well, look, just because you 7 feet tall, maybe you should catch a commercial flight because we can drop you off. Here's a parachute. You ain't gonna disrespect me on my plane. So she almost went to jail in Mexico for fighting, and that's why she quit the show and there wasn't a second season. They just didn't air that footage. So Carlos wants to regale us with the tale of how they became friends. It all started in Nick Cannon's office because he wanted him to produce a show with her and Neyo. But because Carlos didn't have a background in special effects, he wouldn't be able to capture Neyo's king-size cranium, and the show was scrapped. They wanted to develop a show surrounding Crystal as the Lucille Ball of the hip-hop community. What? So they had so many offers from streamers and networks, big-time networks, not to name names, but then, of course, it all falls through. Carlos, do you hear yourself when you talk? It just sounds so lie. It doesn't make sense. So the offers weren't for anything, apparently. Multiple offers for $5 because the business wasn't working. That's what that means. So what good is an offer if it's for $2? Or did you try to steal Neo's life story and they decided to cut the show? Is that what happened? Because we know your thieving ways could have farted it up. She said he called all the women in his life and told them, I'm in a relationship now and I need you to respect it. He was probably on movie phone checking the showing times and just fooled you. So the pandemic made Neyo stay home, so he said, well, since I already got you here, I may as well hump on you. Now you gonna say you, Crystal, and Neyo are family, so you just wanna have a conversation, then why not have Neyo on? Why not have them both since you're all family? They had a vowel renewal in Vegas a few months ago, and she's still ready to throw in the towel. She just wanted to have a party with Nene and Melody. She said, well, once I found out about his different life, I had to give him the heave-ho. She said, I put the business in the street just so I wouldn't go back to him, because now I look like an idiot. So she said when he was caught, rather than be remorseful, he tried to find a scapegoat and said, oh, well, it was just one night, it was just one girl, when it was dozens. Carlos asks, is there hope for a reconciliation? And she just starts coughing. Carlos said, what do you say to all of the women who think that you should stay because you're getting paid? She said, look, if you don't respect yourself enough to walk on, then that ain't my business. I don't think it's that they don't respect themselves. I think everybody makes a choice of the marriage that they want. Some women are happy he take his butt on and go hump on somebody else. They get tired. That's their choice. And you want to say, oh, well, I'm not concerned about money. Yeah, because you have 3 kids by him and you were together for 8 years, so you know you're going to get a payout. Let's not act like the bag wasn't secured. You gave him just enough rope to hang himself. She wants to thank Vivica for telling her to get some therapy, but she wasn't there for the Instagram post. She was there because she loved Neyo. Really? I mean, he ain't that cute and he seemed a little sweet, but okay, girl, you loved him. Wasn't the money. Wasn't the money. So they ain't really give us no tea on Neyo except to alluding about his chitete. So she gonna open up a chicken and waffles joint. I figured you would open up like a makeup bar or a lash loft. I don't think about food when I think of you. Yeah, this interview didn't give much of anything. Okay, he cheated on you. You already told us that. Carlos trying to get you on the show, but I wouldn't trust him after what he pulled with Kandi. But that was the episode, so I'm gonna see you soon for Pop Roast.
Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly, allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.